Tonight on News 5 Live, Prime Minister John Briceño says the controversial definitive agreement will be amended. A 31-year-old mother of two is executed in Cayo District. Well-known businessman and a lifelong supporter of the PUP, Winston Smiling, passes away. And Patrick Faber is formally endorsed as UDP standard bearer in Collet. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Well, I can't believe the grill pan is for the grill. Well, don't worry about nothing. We got a new one at the Belize Father's Day Fest.
Oh, that they happen again?
Yes, and this year,
Belize is giving 19% off store-wide. Yes, 19% off everything.
Why, we have for them, bro.
but wait, don't forget, the race is still on.
The Belize 100-car race, the racers will once again compete to claim the top prize and become the champion.
Anyways, look on the time. If you have a grill, I need to go.
Alright, yeah, bro. New whip?
Push the start.
Alright, big time. Boy!
Boy, Kagali push the start, man.
The Belize Father's Day Fest, Saturday, June 17th, Belize Superstore. This one you don't want to miss. Come on!
When hungry or craving, when laughter or tears, enjoy the best snacking or flavors are here. Asadas, bocadas, chiladas, doradas, Belizean for snacking, done right and done here. Anytime to Snackers. Done right, done here.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Ay, Flip, creo que el 22 va a jugar hoy. ¿Qué piensas?
Güey, ¿tú crees? Toma, 24. ¿Qué piensas tú?
En Belize tenemos el rice and beans, el chips and dips, el bolillo y la lotería dominical. Es difícil explicar, pero esas cosas forman parte de nuestra identidad como beliceños. Mientras muchos de nosotros disfrutábamos del bolillo de vez en cuando, una compañía tenía 100% de derecho a la propiedad. Ahora, no hay nada de malo ser propietario de un negocio. Pero cuando se trata de nuestro bolillo, no puedes informar sobre ventas o ganancias basando tus sentimientos. No puedes adulterar las máquinas cuando te da la gana. No puedes esconder los registros bajo el colchón. No, man. Ahora que el bolillo de la lotería de domingo volverán a ser nuestro, podremos disfrutar y obtener todos sus beneficios. Eso es doble ganancia.
Here's your chance. The stage is waiting. We're looking for talented Belizean singers for another season of KTV The Remix. KTV auditions will take place on Saturday, June 3rd and Sunday, June 11th, starting at 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive in Belize City. We're also now accepting online submissions. 2-minute videos can be emailed to producer at channel5belize.com or DM KTV Remix on Facebook. Deadline, Sunday, June 11th at 5 p.m. Come be a part of the biggest singing competition of the year. KTV The Remix, only on Channel 5.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Monday, May 29th. I am Sabrina Daly. Prime Minister John Briceño returned to the country today and was met at the PGIA by a group of reporters armed with questions about the controversial definitive agreement with Portico Enterprises Limited. As we reported last week, the elusive definitive agreement that was signed by representatives of Portico, the parent company for Port of Magical Belize, and former UDP Minister Erwin Contreras was leaked to the media. That agreement was taken to Cabinet with draft legislation. The confidential Cabinet paper sought approval for a proposed fiscal incentive legislation for the port project. These fiscal incentives given to Portico are described as alarming and against the best interests of the Belizean public. When asked about it today, PM Briceño told reporters that the definitive agreement will be amended.
Let me speak strictly to the matter that the paper went to Cabinet along with a copy of the definitive agreement. I want to make this very clear. I am very disappointed that this paper was leaked out. As you all know, when we were appointed to the Cabinet, we signed an oath of confidentiality that what is discussed in Cabinet should remain there, because then that gives you this allows ministers to be able to speak their minds freely. The paper came to Cabinet. The Minister of Tourism, Anthony Mala, then started to raise some concerns, rightly so. And then other ministers started to raise some issues. When I started to look at the issues that were being raised, then I said that we're going to pull back this paper and that it has to be redone. I want to finish with this, that whenever we finish those, redoing that paper, whatever we take to the National Assembly, because it will be taken as part of a piece of its own legislation, like what we did with Stake Bank, what we did with Harvest Key, it will be no better or no worse than what Harvest Key got and Stake Bank. What I can assure you right now that what the UDP signed under the definitive agreement, that will not fly. We are going to be redoing it, and we're going to repeat once more that what goes to the House, to the National Assembly, will be no better nor no worse than what Stake Bank and Harvest Key got.
But will the Briceño administration launch a full investigation into Erwin Contreras and his decision to sign the definitive agreement with Portico Enterprises Limited? As we have been reporting, the former UDP Minister of Economic Development was the only government official who signed the controversial document. And according to the former Attorney General Michael Perrafit, no one in the Barrow administration knew that Contreras signed the document, which Perrafit described as trash. Today, PM Briceño was asked if his government will investigate Contreras. Here is his response.
Let me finish first with settling the legislation that will give the necessary development concessions to Port Machical or Portico. And once we do that, then we will do whatever investigations that have to be done. We will do an investigation, and if there was any corrupt act under the previous government, then we will act on it.
This morning on Open Your Eyes, Cabinet Minister Henry Charles Usher also chimed in on the conversation surrounding the definitive agreement. He dissected the document from various perspectives, including its legality. According to the parliamentarian, members of the previous administration cannot say that they were unaware of the existence of the agreement and what is contained in the document. Here's how he puts it.
What I can say, there are three areas that you have to look at with this particular agreement. There are more than three, but three I can discuss. One is the content of the agreement. The two is the legality of the agreement. And three is this culture that existed within the former administration, where 1 month before an election you're signing such a comprehensive document. And certainly former members of that administration can't be washing themselves of that. They can't be Pontius Pilate as, oh, I didn't know about that. But let me start with the legality, and I think that is important, because any agreement that comes either from a previous administration or signed now needs to get the approval of the Attorney General's ministry. And I think it's critical that government ask the Attorney General to properly review the agreement, to look at all aspects of how it was signed, who signed it, what's included in it, and to make sure that it's legal. Secondly is the content, and I can tell you that there are some serious concerns about what is in that agreement. Now, we have to look at all investments coming into this country for the benefits they can bring, do a cost-benefit analysis, look at all the environmental issues, everything else that comes into play with these types of investments. But if you are going to be issuing these types of concessions when it's unfair to other competitors or other persons investing, we have to look at that. And certainly there are issues that were raised in Cabinet about what is in this particular agreement. I have serious concerns about what is in this agreement. I have serious concerns about the legality of the agreement, to be honest with you.
The Port of Belize Limited has remained mum in a matter of involving the Christian Workers Union regarding compensation for stevedores who claim that they lost significant wages when ASR BSI transferred its export operations to Big Creek. All parties, including the Ministry of Labor, met as a tripartite body earlier this month in an attempt to negotiate a settlement. While the CWU came out swinging last week, the Port of Belize has been rather silent. News 5 spoke with Chief Executive Officer Ted Peralta, who remained firm on PBL's position. Here's News Isani Caetano with the following story.
Since leaving the room on May 11th, the Port of Belize Limited and its attorneys have remained silent on the progress of negotiations with waterfront workers. Both parties, as well as the Ministry of Labor, agreed to limit what would be said in public regarding a sugar redundancy package. Stevedores lost wages a few years ago when ASR BSI relocated its export operations to Big Creek. On the other hand, the Port of Belize Limited contends that no one was laid off as a result of that loss of business.
On our position, regardless of what the CW believes is their expectation, right, still remains the fact that we have made nobody redundant, right? Now, that as well carries on to two principles, right? At the end of the day, when the CW took the decision to first create what was a go slow with the BSI sugar barges, right? That eventually led to an inefficiency and ineffectiveness that then caused these sugar barges to go down south. That in effect then caused losses to everybody, right? Specifically PBL who bore those losses, right?
Ted Peralta is the Chief Executive Officer at Port of Belize Limited. The labor dispute between waterfront workers and their employer predates his leadership of the company. Nonetheless, he shares the following information after an analysis of annual salaries.
On average, our employees used to make $33,518, right? In 2022 alone, when the barge went away, they're still making $33,058, right? So the disparity of where the loss is up for debate. But at the end of the day, it still remains at PBL to absorb those losses, right? And these are just our gang members, right? Or second or substitutes who used to work the barges more, right? They went from making $12,000 to $25,000 now.
Setting aside the issue of yearly income, the compensation that stevedores are seeking follows a ruling by the Essential Services Arbitration Tribunal. That decision specifies that they are to be paid by PBL for the loss of wages. Getting them to comply with the judgment has been a challenge for the Christian Workers Union.
We are very concerned about how this matter, the ESAT ruling, is going to be backed up. We can't look for any other choice at this point in time except to go to our members, to lay out the matter in front of them and have them give us a consensus marching order, because that is where we are now.
What about the company? In the face of the decision given by the Essential Services Arbitration Tribunal, PBL maintains its unwavering position on the matter. No one was dismissed from work.
At this point in time, I cannot say that we are at that point that we have some form of compensation, right? At the end of the day, like I said, we strongly believe that our position is that nobody was made redundant. So there's no need or no necessity for any payout in that regards, because our employees continue working at the same level they were working without any issue.
Last week, the CWU broke its silence.
We only come forward to speak because now our commitment to sit around a table and negotiate has been treated with great disdain, has been treated with disrespect. No willingness to legitimately resolve these issues. And so it's a part of our responsibility to come now to the public to say this is where we are on this matter.
But is Port of Belize Limited purposely ignoring the tribunal's ruling? According to Peralta, PBL is unwilling to yield simply because the stevedores have transitioned to other aspects of waterfront work without losing money.
We obviously cannot agree to what they're asking for, because at the end of the day, the sugar redundancy, right, is based on the definition of redundancy when there is no redundancy that has been undertaken. Because these same employees that used to work sugar move into barge, and as I previously explained, these guys are earning the same as was from previous years in 2022.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isana Cayetano.
A decision on preliminary question of law regarding a claim brought against the Christian Workers Union by the Port of Belize Limited has been delivered by the High Court. In 2022, the Port of Belize filed a lawsuit for damages reportedly arising from industrial action taken by the CWU and 6 other defendants. This followed 8 days of strike by stevedores employed by PBL. In the suit filed by attorneys Godfrey Smith and Hector Guerrera, the claimant says the strike was illegal and claims damages for the tort of interference with economic interests by unlawful means. The matter is being heard before Justice Genevieve Chabot, while the court declined to determine whether the strike that took place between January 20th and 27, 2022 was carried out legally or illegally under the laws of Belize. A trial of this claim is necessary to make that determination. In a 14-page ruling, Justice Chabot determined, based on evidence provided by the CWU, that it is not registered under the Trade Unions Act and is only registered under the Trade Unions and Employers Organizations Act. As such, the CWU and its members are not entitled to the benefits of the Trade Unions Act. And in related news, Prime Minister John Briceño was asked if his government is considering nationalizing the Port of Belize. That discussion was first brought up during an interview with Deputy Prime Minister Cordell Hyde last week. Hyde told reporters that the government should consider returning the port to the people of Belize. PM Briceño says that it is something that his government has thought of, but stressed that they are not there yet.
Well, there are so many things that we have to look at. Before we reach to that point, I think we need to speak with the owners to see what are their real intentions, and if they do not have any interest in doing the proper investments, then we have to sit down with them either to buy them out or nationalize. But we are not there yet.
Coming up, woman executed in Cayo. Police are looking for persons of interest. Find out the details of these stories when we come back.
Adopting a second child was our best decision ever. Now our daughter Alexis has a little brother to play with.
Know that we have our son, our family is complete.
Contact the Department of Human Services and find out how you can become a foster or adoptive parent and be that heart of gold.
Prime Minister John Briceño wants to pass special legislation in the House, giving tax benefits and fiscal incentives to David Gegg for his Port of Magical Belize cruise ship project. This is the same David Gegg who signed a secret agreement with UDP Minister Erwin Contreras 2 days before the last general election in November 2020, without the knowledge of then Prime Minister Dean Barrow or the cabinet.
That document was signed by Erwin Contreras in October of 2020, and in my view, that is a shame, it is abhorrent, and in my opinion, it is completely illegal.
The Cabinet Subcommittee on Investment knew nothing about that agreement.
I am not aware of any definitive agreement, which is usually the last stage of really cementing the investment opportunity in the country. You know, the government has to ensure that the investor has the right, has the capital available, that all the permissions have been granted, that sort of thing.
Despite former Attorney General Mike Parafit's exposure of the agreement as unlawful, the Prime Minister seems hell-bent on making it into the law.
We as a government, we're here to be able to govern and to ensure that whatever investment or whatever approvals that were made by the government of Belize can be carried out. If the definitive agreement, and I have not seen it, was signed by the minister responsible, then obviously it is going to be binding because it's the government of Belize that signed it.
He will legalize David Gegg's secret and unlawful agreement by passing a special law for his government's preferred developer. Why will this man be exempted from paying taxes based on an unlawful and secret agreement?
Whether you're in a bustling urban area or a tranquil rural community, connectivity matters. Internet access is key to continued socioeconomic development. That is why Digi, our national telecom, has and will continue to invest millions of dollars to expand its mobile and fiber networks throughout Belize. Thousands of mobile users and households, especially along the highways and in rural communities, are now enjoying the benefits of Digi's resilient infrastructure. Our national telecom will continue to lead the charge towards digital transformation by utilizing cutting-edge technology and maintaining an unwavering dedication to excellence. With our DigiWallet solution, Belizeans in urban and rural areas now have easy and safe access to a wide array of financial services via their mobile devices. And with the recent launch of DigiTV, Digi has made history, becoming the only quad play service provider in Belize. Now, customers can save with our DigiOne bundles that offer home internet, mobile, home phone, and DigiTV services, all in one place. Digi is committed to providing all communities with access to high-quality, reliable, and affordable services while unlocking untapped potential and opening the doors to a brighter future for all. Be a part of the transformation and experience connectivity like never before. Because with Digi, connectivity matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble.
After 4 months of grueling BEBL basketball, only the cream of the crop, the final 4 teams are left standing. Belize, Belize Hurricanes, Orange Walk Running Rebels, Dangaga Dream Ballers, and San Pedro Tiger Sharks. And now comes the playoffs.
Y'all ready for this? Let's go. Around.
The playoffs are here! The playoffs are finally here! The Belize Civic Center will be the rendezvous for you this Friday, June 2, as your favorite city team and 2-time BEBL champion, Belize Hurricanes. The only city team left to defend the commercial capital will start their championship journey against their arch rivals, the Dangaga Dream Ballers, in a battle dubbed as Dreaming Nightmares for Griga. Dream. Belize District, it gets no bigger than this, where your Hurricane boys, led by the energetic Chris Fraser, Gancy Cooper Lopez, Victor Vito Evans, Jamel Harris, and Kirk Shabba-Smith Jr. face off against the Dangaga Dream Ballers, led by their giant center, Dominic Woodson, Devon Campbell, and Edgar Boogie Mitchell. We all know Dream Ballers no like Canes, and Canes definitely no like Dream Ballers.
Them no like me, I mean I like them.
Who will draw first blood? Who will take game 1 of this best of 3 series? Bring out the entire family this Friday night of June 2. The halftime show will feature the Belize $4,000 half-court shot, cell phones and tablet giveaways from Smart and Cellular World.
Hurricanes are one big family.
The after party will be at Thirsty Thursdays. Sponsors.
Yo, respect the city. Love the game. Family. Belize Hurricanes. Hurricanes are one big family.
At the Life Company, we understand that life can be demanding and fast-paced, so we've made it easier for you to contact us. Wherever you may be, and at your own convenience, you can now access our services through our social media platforms. RFNG Life is pleased to introduce our new LifeBot service. Request a quotation, make premium payments, speak to a customer service representative, and more from right where you are in the palm of your hands. Visit our website or Facebook page or WhatsApp us at 671-5143 to try out our new LifeBot service today. RFNG Life Insurance, the Life Company.
This Mother's Day, celebrate that special woman who holds your family together. Start her day off right, complete with love and smiles. But why stop there? At Brothers Habet, we believe in celebrating moms all month long. We're offering big discounts all throughout May, like 15% off all mowing, kitchen and bathroom faucets and accessories, 15% off all Penta paints, and much more. And for the ultimate Mother's Day gift, purchase any Penta paint during May and get a chance to win big. Every week, we're giving away $100 to a lucky mom, and at the end of the month, one lucky mom will receive a grand prize of $1,000. Give mom the gift she truly deserves from Brothers Habet. Happy Mother's Day to all the super moms out there, and we hope to see you in store soon.
Generation to generation, Bristol Water is there every step of the way. Taste you can trust.
The execution-style murder of 31-year-old Marissa Morales on Saturday night in El Progreso village, Cayo, has police seeking several persons of interest, individuals whom they believe were involved in a double murder a few years ago. In that incident, on June 23, 2019, San Pedro tour guide was shot dead while on a fly fishing trip near the island. Morales was the girlfriend of Graniel at the time. And this is where police are picking up their investigation. News 5's Marian Ali reports.
There was no one at this house in El Progreso village, Cayo, today because the only occupant was shot multiple times sometime around 9 on Saturday night. 31-year-old Marissa Morales, a mother of two, was inside the kitchen washing up dishes after she sold food earlier that night. That was when her killers pounced.
Information is that Marissa was in the kitchen area of a restaurant she operates when a motorcycle arrived in the area with two male persons. One of the male persons approached her in the kitchen and fired several shots in her direction, causing her fatal injuries. Thereafter, the two male persons sped off towards Georgeville area on the motorcycle. We are following several leads in regards to this.
Commissioner of Police Chester Williams said there are several key components to this particular investigation that the police will be exploring.
When the murder of Dr. Swank and Mr. Graniel took place in San Pedro, the name of the now deceased was prevalent in that investigation. I am not going to go into details in terms of how that came about, but the public would know that she may have been in a relationship with Mr. Graniel at that particular time. And now that she is a deceased person and the victim of a murder, we believe that the same persons who were behind Mr. Graniel's murder and Dr. Swank are the ones who are responsible for her murder. It seems so far from investigation that she was murdered by someone who knew her and knew her well.
Williams said there is a perception that the personalities that were involved in the double murder of Mario Graniel and Dr. Gary Swank are the same players in this murder because of the way Morales' killers targeted her. Police have no one detained, but have several persons of interest who they're seeking, and their investigation will expand to several areas, including back to San Pedro, where Morales lived with Mario Graniel, a tour guide, when he was killed in that double murder while on a tour back in June of 2019. Following that incident, Morales moved to Cayo, where she rented the house and operated the restaurant where she was killed. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
It has been 2 weeks since the murder of Imari Galvez in the Cayo district. The 19-year-old's body was discovered off the Hummingbird Highway 3 days after she went missing. Police have not yet made an arrest, and today Commissioner of Police Chester Williams said the investigators are having some challenges in getting useful information. He believes the family of the victim can assist more than they are now.
There are certain things that we need to ascertain, and we believe that the family do have answers, or more answers to the questions that we are hoping to be answered. And so far, I can say that the family are not as forthcoming as we'd want them to be, and we believe that they're withholding information that could assist the police in this matter. One, I can't understand how the way how their home is situated. I don't understand how she would have left home and they don't know. I don't want to indict the family or to say anything that is going to cause more grief to them, but certainly we believe that they are holding back information that could assist the police in that matter. We have narrowed down to one particular suspect. I'm not going to say who that person is at this time, but there's a person of great interest that we're focusing on, and we're almost sure that he is the person responsible for her death. But there are still certain things that we need to confirm, and we're hoping that we will be able to confirm those very shortly.
2 security guards who are employed by the Belize City Council are recuperating from injuries they suffered when 3 thieves pounced on them. The incident happened overnight on Thursday, while the guards kept watch at the Michael Finnegan Market on East Collet Canal. The thieves broke into 2 stalls, including National Treats, by breaking in the door and stealing cash and a phone charger. Next, the bandits invaded another nearby stall operated by Carolina Aguilar, whose surveillance camera shows one of the thieves wearing a hoodie. Aguilar says she and other vendors have been asking for armed security for quite some time. Councillor Javier Castellanos, responsible for markets, said something like this has never happened before.
They stole some coins and a bag of money that we had there that I forgot the day before. And
a lot?
Well, our value, everything probably was $900.
Wow. Okay, was this the first time that this happened?
Yes, this was the first time.
Okay, now do you know in terms of the security guards, where were they?
I'm not sure, but they got hurt. They got very, very hurt. One of them got a broken hand, or I think it was his wrist, and the other one was beat. Both of them were beaten very badly.
So the burglars attacked them?
Attacked them, yes.
Wow.
And they also, one of them had 2 broken fingers. Up to now, one of them have to get surgery. The only camera we had was inside. We only got the person pushing his foot or his hand. Hopefully, with this situation here, we can get more security and better vigilant, because it's very sad. They didn't have any gun or anything, so it's very hard. You know, we expect hopefully they can get something done, especially for the lives of those security guys.
This incident of this magnitude was the first time here. We had other incidents, but not to this level here, where badly injured, someone got badly injured. No, so up to now, well, we are checking on the on everything we are here, but I think this level of security we have here, the market is fenced, properly fenced, to the back is wired. We have also wired on top of the fence, so it is properly and it's properly secured, no? With the security them prepared to work along with other entities, no? Especially with the police department, try to see how we could liaison and be able to have those patrols over here also. So to be in coordination with our security, no? Because we have the ranger and we have the special constables during the day.
A teenager was stabbed in the vicinity of the Pound Yard Bridge on Saturday, and the alleged perpetrator is another male minor. The incident followed an argument between the two as the victim was walking in that area along with another minor. Assistant Commissioner of Police Alberto Romero, who is the regional commander of Eastern Division, shared the details with the media today.
On Saturday, 27th day of May 2023, police responded to a stabbing incident at Pound Yard in Belize City. Upon the arrival, they found Jaden Tucker with a stab wound to the rib cage area. Investigations that he was in that area and he was approached by another male person who made certain allegations to him. Thereafter, they got into an argument and the male person proceeded to stab him once. He was taken to the KHMH in a critical condition. He has been treated and is now in a stable condition. The suspect in this matter handed himself in this morning. They are all minors, and like I said, they had some discussion over one of them calling the other a particular name. That is what led to the confrontation, and thereafter the stabbing occurred.
There is a death investigation taking place in Orange Walk after a man was found dead on his farm in the Camp 1 area of Shipyard. 37-year-old Hippolyta Humes Jr. went to his farm located on the other side of the New River, but did not return that day. On Sunday, the father and a nephew went to the area to tend to the cattle they had on the farm. That's when Hippolyta Humes Sr. made the discovery. He found the body of his son laying face up behind the house. He immediately called the police. There were reportedly no signs of injury on the body, but a post-mortem examination scheduled for later this week will determine the cause of death. News 5 spoke with Humes Sr. this morning at their Guinea Grass home.
Es que él me dijo que él iba a llegar en la tarde y pues como yo estoy del otro lado, tengo ganado del otro lado. Estamos cuidando el ganado ahí también porque hay bastante coyotes y esas cosas ahí. Entonces pues no, yo vine esa mañana y él me dice, Daddy, yo voy ahí. Digo pues anda, él se fue y él se quedó del otro lado y yo me vine, pero él me dijo en la tarde. Me viene a buscar como a las 5 o las 6 y yo aquí voy a estar esperándole. Bueno, le dije yo, pero me dijo, pero si usted ve que yo no bajo allí, pues entonces mañana trae a mi sobrino, dice, con usted. Llegamos y en la playa y no viene a buscarme porque él me dijo que él me va a venir a buscar con la lancha. Pues ahí estamos, yo a las 8 no llega. Ahora le digo a este otro, le digo, ¿sabes qué? No podemos estar aquí esperando porque tenemos que escarbar, obvio. El sol calienta más. Le digo, vamos a traer de canaletear y vamos a llegar, como no está muy lejos. Pues había un cayuco y empezamos a canaletear. Nos fuimos. Pero ahora que llegamos ahí, vi de que la lancha donde él andaba estaba allá en la otra bajadilla, dentro de la casa. Y miro que la casa está cerrado, la puerta de atrás está cerrado, entré, pero ahora digo voy a salir del otro lado, abrir la otra puerta, porque iba a beber un poco de agua de un tambo que tengo ahí. Ahora que abrí la otra puerta ahí, pero cuando yo volteo a ver así, yo vi algo diferente porque no había un plástico donde yo tenía, donde mis perros bebían agua, ya no está ahí, está movido. Ahora yo digo, pero ¿cómo así? Pero yo vi de un cartucho botado ahí en el suelo. Ahora yo digo, pero ¿qué está pasando aquí? Como que empecé a presentir como algo, ¿no? Pues yo digo, ¿será que algo está pasando? Que yo espía atrás de la casa. Ahora que yo espío atrás de la casa no miro a nadie. Pero entonces al mismo tiempo levanto mi vista para ver así más lejos, ¿no? Cuando levanto mi cabeza y miro más lejos, como de unas 30 o 40 yardas, ahí está botado. Llegué ahí y yo lo quedé viendo, yo vi de que estábamos muertos.
¿Estaba sangrando?
No, yo no lo vi de sangrando, yo solo lo vi de que tenía sus ojos así, como, y todo ya estaba como morado acá por sus ojos. Y entonces yo empecé a gritar y yo ya arranqué a correr, ya no sabía ni qué hacer.
After the break, an update on Belize Government Lotteries Limited.
Months passed since Brian and Marta had started their talks with the villagers. Many things had changed since then. The villagers cleaned their beaches every day. The mangroves were growing. The fishermen were already speaking about the difference they were beginning to notice in the fishing replenishment zones, observing a large number of fish they had not seen for a long time. Brian and Marta arrived at the school and found teacher Lewis as usual at the entrance waiting to receive all his students.
Good morning, teacher. How's it going?
Very good. And you kids, how are you?
Hello, teacher. You know, I have to tell you, today Mr. Oscar spoke with my father and told him news about what he and other farmers are planning to do. They are going to plant a lot of trees that used to grow here in some areas of the mountains so that the rivers don't dry up. He also told him they are going to combine their crops with trees, which in the end will give them more benefits in the future. And this will help the whole town.
In recent months, I've seen a big change in the town and in the way people think. And it all started thanks to the both of you. I am proud. Now hurry, because classes are about to begin.
Over the next months, some organizations continued supporting this and other towns and villages in taking action to adapt to climate change. More plantings of native trees were carried out. They continued to combine plantings with different variety trees, caring for and planting mangroves and asking tourists to be careful with the reefs and not to litter. All of these things contributed to communities doing better and preparing themselves against the effect of climate change. This education program is brought to you by the Smart Coast Project, led by the World Wildlife Fund in collaboration with the Coastal Zone Management Authority and Institute. This project is part of the International Climate Initiative from the German government. Generation to generation, Bristol Water is there every step of the way. Taste you can trust.
Do you know how to choose the best engine oil for your car? We believe the best engine oil should provide optimal performance and ultimate protection for longer. For Quartz engine oil, our engineers have formulated age resistance technology, also known as ART. It's a breakthrough innovation. The interaction between oil molecules is increased, creating a super-resistant molecular structure. So whatever the conditions, it helps to prevent the lubricant protective film from breaking. Any engine is exposed to harsh conditions: extreme temperature and pressure, friction, sludge accumulation. The molecular structure of quartz with ART stays strong to perfectly lubricate and protect engine parts in all conditions. And the results are outstanding. Protection against sludge buildup improved by 18%. Protection against mechanical wear improved by 74%. Thanks to Quartz, with art, save on maintenance and preserve your engine's power. So next time you wonder which engine oil to use, choose performance and protection that last longer. Quartz, with age resistance technology. Keep your engine younger for longer.
for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
Nestled away in the quaint Belize River Valley, Black Orchid's Panda River Restaurant offers a variety of great dining areas and experiences with an excellent variety of local and international cuisine, with healthy meal options for vegans and those with health concerns. Your delectable dining can be topped off with our excellent desserts, natural fruit juices, and exquisite wine and drink options. All prepared by our certified chef and award-winning mixologist. Come to Panda River Restaurant and River Rum Bar to relax in the pool or use our excellent conference facilities combined with great dining.
A diamond in the jungle.
The Briceño administration has registered Belize Government Lotteries Limited, the company that will soon administer lotteries in the country. The day-to-day functioning of BGGL will be overseen by a managing director and a committed team of employees. The organization will have 4 master agents strategically positioned in different regions across the country, ensuring efficient operations. Prime Minister John Briceño says it is his hope to launch the new government lotteries in the next few weeks.
We did not want to do anything before because we really tried to work with Brads. We are constantly reminding them where they have not been meeting the legal obligations that they signed on, and they didn't. So until that time came that we found that they had no intentions of doing that, we ended that agreement. And so now we're in the process of working on the app and then looking at setting up the company. Well, we already registered the company. Now we have to get members from the board to the board of directors and get the master agents.
Henry Charles Usher also weighed in on the Belido conversation this morning on Open Your Eyes. Usher argued that while the former administration of the Belido and Sunday lottery draw were making quite a bit of money from sales, he did not hear about them investing money in community programs and events.
I think it's important to understand that
there were a lot of irregularities about what was happening. It's still a case before the court, I believe, so I have to be careful in what I say. But I think it's important that if you have this type of game in the country, then Belizeans should be benefiting from it more than just the $2 million or whatever it was that was paid as a license fee every year. The money is being profited from Belize very high, from just what has been claimed by the former owners of the game. You can see that they were making quite a bit of money on this game, and so more should have been pumped back in. And you know, the problem I had with the previous owners was that you never heard them sponsoring any sports team. You don't hear them that sponsor Ruta Maya. You don't hear anything when it comes to that. There was no give back to the community in terms of the profits being made. Whereas you have other good corporate citizens that give back to the community. But yeah, there were no scholarships. You didn't hear anything about any medical help. You didn't hear anything at all.
The Briceño administration's $90 million plan to build a new health facility in Belmopan has been criticized, particularly by the KHMH Workers Union. The shortage of medical personnel at the existing Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital raises concerns about the necessity of a new hospital. The proposed tertiary care hospital, with a capacity of 150 beds, will be financed through a loan from the Saudi Fund for Development. Prime Minister John Briceño acknowledged that the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital, KHMH, is unable to meet the increasing demands at the national and regional levels. However, the KHMHWU questions the need for a new hospital, citing a serious shortage of nurses and doctors at the KHMH. The union suggests that the funds could be better invested in various healthcare areas, such as nursing education, specialized medical services, and emergency resources. The Prime Minister says that the union is being nearsighted.
We have to be strategic in what we're doing. Carl Huchner has reached probably its max. They don't have much space to expand. The idea is for us to be able to build a new hospital in Belize, probably in the Lake area. You know, we have the land available, so that then we could have two regional hospitals in Belize that can provide some sort of tertiary services. But the truth is that if a hurricane were to hit Belize City, Belize country is going to lose its only tertiary level hospital. So the plan, and what we discussed in Plan Belize, was then to set up a new regional hospital in Belmopan. The hospital in Belmopan has been condemned. It's no good. So the only way we can do is that we have to redo it. And so we want to do a regional hospital with tertiary services, so that then that could help relieve the pressure from Carl Huchner initially, to be able to take care of the Cayo district, Stankic district, and the Toledo district. So it relieves that pressure. And also, God forbid that we have a hurricane, our patients from Carl Huchner can come can shelter in Belmopan with the necessary facilities to look after them. No, Carl Huchner needs help. Of course, they need more equipment. Yes, they need more equipment. And we're also working towards that. We're working with CABE to see if we could get some more funding to be able to do that. The issue right now with the Saudis, we have just signed an agreement, to recognize, we just had diplomatic relations with the Saudis in last year, September. At the UN, we signed the diplomatic agreement between both countries. And one of the first things they said, well, we prepare to help you with a project. And so they are lending us this money to build this hospital at 2% per annum. 5 years we pay nothing, and then we have another 20 years to pay that loan. So it will give us the opportunity to build that hospital, and to that hospital attach a university to be able to train our doctors and nurses. So whilst I understand what the union from Carl Huchner they're talking about, they're being a bit nearsighted. We as a country, we have to be strategic, and that's exactly what we're doing right now.
As we stated earlier, Prime Minister John Briceño returned to the country today after attending the World Climate Industry Expo Leaders Summit in Busan, South Korea, where he delivered the keynote address. Briceño addressed the threats of climate change on food security and livelihoods in Belize. He highlighted the annual losses suffered by Belize's GDP due to climate change, as well as the unique economic model created through the Blue Bond. The Prime Minister called on developed nations to support developing nations in adapting and mitigating climate change impacts on marine environments. He urged global leaders to take advantage and immediate action, rise above self-interest and work together for the sake of the oceans, vulnerable populations, and future generations. During his time there, PM Briceño lobbied with government leaders to support Belize to access climate funding from the UN.
The Republic of Korea wants to have closer ties with Belize. They are talking about the possibility of opening up an office in Belize so that we can then have access to funding from their development fund. And so they pointed out now that they have given us $1 million for IT that can be used for economic development, foreign affairs, and I think agriculture and some other ministry. And also now I know they have agreed now to make another $3 million available to help strengthen the SIB.
When we return, the Belize Coast Guard's Wonder Woman competition returns.
Prime Minister John Briceño wants to pass special legislation in the House, giving tax benefits and fiscal incentives to David Gegg for his Port of Magical Belize cruise ship project. This is the same David Gegg who signed a secret agreement with UDP Minister Erwin Contreras 2 days before the last general election in November 2020, without the knowledge of then Prime Minister Dean Barrow or the cabinet.
That document was signed by Erwin Contreras in October of 2020, and in my view, that is a shame, it is abhorrent, and in my opinion, it is completely illegal.
The Cabinet Subcommittee on Investment knew nothing about that agreement.
I am not aware of any definitive agreement, which is usually the last stage of really cementing the investment opportunity in the country. You know, the government has to ensure that the investor has the right, has the capital available, that all the permissions have been granted, that sort of thing.
Despite former Attorney General Mike Parafit's exposure of the agreement as unlawful, the Prime Minister seems hell-bent on making it into the law.
We as a government, we're here to be able to govern and to ensure that whatever investment or whatever approvals that were made by the government of Belize can be carried out. If the definitive agreement, and I have not seen it, was signed by the minister responsible, then obviously it is going to be binding because it's the government of Belize that signed it.
He will legalize David Gegg's secret and unlawful agreement by passing a special law for his government's preferred developer. Why will this man be exempted from paying taxes based on an unlawful and secret agreement?
Dengue and Zika alert. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. The Ministry of Health reminds the public that as we enter the rainy season, be aware of the dangers of dengue, chikungunya, and Zika. These are infectious diseases that are transmitted by the bite of Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus mosquitoes. These mosquitoes are most active in early morning and late afternoon. Activities that should be done to prevent dengue and Zika include: avoid having containers that can collect water in your yard. Cover water storage containers such as drums. Change the water in flower pots every 4 or 5 days. These are ideal breeding sites for the mosquito. With the elimination of breeding sites in and around the yard, dengue and Zika can be avoided. Dengue and Zika begin with sudden onset of high fever. Other signs and symptoms include rash, joint pain, eye pain. If you are pregnant or planning to become pregnant, we advise you to visit your nearest health facility. The public is also encouraged to use mosquito repellent spray or lotion on the body or clothing. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. A health and wellness message from your Ministry of Health.
Homeowners, immerse yourself in elegance. Surround yourself with the beauty and quality of solid wood furniture. This is what Marissa Elegant Furniture has to offer. Trendy, affordable, and exceptional furniture such as kitchen cabinets, doors, home bars, bar stools, vanities, plush sofa sets, all made in Belize with genuine mahogany wood. We also offer precious tropical hardwood dining sets, bedroom sets, coffee tables, office furniture, living room sets, and much more. Choose Marissa for all your fine furniture and save big. Or visit our Facebook page, Marissa Elegant Furniture, making your household dreams affordable.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
After 4 months of grueling BEBL basketball, only the cream of the crop, the final 4 teams are left standing. Belize Hurricanes, Orange Walk Running Rebels, Danbuga Dream Ballers, and San Pedro Tiger Sharks. And now comes the playoffs.
Y'all ready for this? Let's go. All around.
The playoffs are here. The playoffs are finally here. The Belize Civic Center will be the rendezvous for you this Friday, June 2, as your favorite city team and 2-time BEBL champion, Belize Hurricanes. The only city team left to defend the commercial capital will start their championship journey against their arch rivals, the Danbuga Dream Ballers, in a battle dubbed as Dreaming Nightmares for Griga.
Dream.
Belize District, it gets no bigger than this, where your Hurricane boys, led by the energetic Chris Fraser, Gancy Cooper Lopez, Victor Vito Evans, Jamel Harris, and Kirk Shabba-Smith Jr. face off against the Danbuga Dream Ballers, led by their giant center, Dominic Woodson, Devon Campbell, and Edgar Boogie Mitchell. We all know Dream Ballers no like Canes, and Canes definitely no like Dream Ballers.
Them no like me, I mean I like them.
Who will draw first blood? Who will take game 1 of this best of 3 series? Bring out the entire family this Friday night of June 2. The halftime show will feature the Belize $4,000 half-court shot, cell phones and tablet giveaways from Smart and Cellular World.
Hurricanes are one big family.
The after party will be at Thursday. Sponsors.
Yo, respect the city. Love the game. Yeah. Family. Belize Hurricanes. Hurricanes are one big family.
Welcome to Design Depot, home of GE appliances. Welcome. GE appliances are designed, manufactured, and tested for real life with long-lasting performance, which makes it a trusted brand amongst builders and homeowners. Design Depot has a wide range of GE appliances such as washers, dryers, refrigerators, ranges, microwaves, and much more. Manage your daily chores more efficiently with GE appliances. Good things for life. Available at Design Depot, all in one place.
Maritime Area Representative Patrick Faber has been endorsed by the United Democratic Party as standard-bearer for Collet constituency. On Saturday, the National Party Council met and, in a bid for unity, gave public support to Faber's candidacy. Faber has been at odds with the leadership of the UDP since he took to social media in 2022 to openly criticize the direction of the party. In the wake of those Facebook posts, the former party leader was sacked by the nominations committee and was subsequently replaced by Ian Jones. On March 29th, Jones, also via a social media post, indicated that he would be submitting a letter of resignation. Following the National Party Council over the weekend, party leader Shine Barrow issued a brief statement in which he said, quote, "In the interest of party unity, the UDP NPC voted to endorse Honorable Patrick Faber as our Collet standard bearer. Together we forge forward to deliver victory for the UDP and Belize," end quote. People's United Party stalwart and businessman Winston Smiling passed away over the weekend. In his formative years, Smiling worked side by side with George Price, the father of the nation. Smiling was considered to be a personal confidant, friend, advisor, and assistant to George Price. He also served as a senator in Parliament for the PUP. As a businessman, Smiling owned Smiling Meats, located on New Road, Belize City. PUP Chairman Henry Charles Usher, during his appearance on Open Your Eyes this morning, reflected on the life and contributions of Winston Smiling.
As you said, he was very instrumental in the whole movement of the party, the whole nationalist movement in Belize. He was a soldier of the revolution, and certainly when I heard the news Saturday, it saddened me, it saddened my family. He was related to us, related to Mr. Price, the father of the nation, and certainly we will mourn his passing. He was a businessman. As you know, Smiling Meats is a staple there on New Road. He was also a senator, a long-time member of the People's United Party, a member of the national executive of the party, a member of the Order of Distinguished Service, which is the highest honor that you can get in the party. So certainly Winston will be missed. I certainly will miss the advice he would give me. I would call him up. He lived not too far from me in Belama, so I would visit him a few times. He was always willing to sit down, talk, take a new whiskey, listen to some good music, watch some television. So certainly I will miss him, and condolences to the Smiling family.
On Saturday, Holy Redeemer Credit Union held its annual general meeting at the Belize City Civic Center. Thousands of member owners of the credit union came out to the AGM to learn more about what's happening at the financial institution. For a second consecutive year, the credit union shared out dividends of 4% and a rebate of 10%. Other member owners walked away with $1,000 in cash prizes via their annual raffles. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
Established 79 years ago in May of 1944, Holy Redeemer Credit Union is one of the largest and strongest credit unions in Belize, with 63,249 member owners.
At the close of our financial year ended March 31st, 2023, 17,458 loans were disbursed, which is an increase from 14,822 loans disbursed last year. However, in dollar amounts, there were a significant decrease totaling $65,793,490.72 compared to last year, which was $85,039,105.49. This decrease in loan amounts was mainly due to payoffs by other financial institutions, members not using our loan services available to them with very affordable interest rates, or perhaps because of the members' financial instability brought on by the recent pandemic or even Hurricane Lisa.
Save regularly, borrow wisely, and repay promptly is the message that the credit union is sending to its member owners. This year, member owners banked dividends of 4% and a rebate of 10%.
Your board is recommending a dividend of 4% and a rebate of 10% with members, owners, cooperation, and the hard-working efforts of HRCU, directors, committees, management, and staff. We will continue to bring owners only the very best.
President of the credit union, Oscar Riverol, also shares some of the developments going forward for the institution.
Last year, we informed you that we were expanding our office building in Independence Village to better serve the people of the South, and that we were venturing into Belmopan to serve the people of the West and our capital city. I can proudly say today that the expansion project is well underway and should be completed before the end of this year, if all goes according to schedule. Our President Belmopan is about to come into fruition with the start of construction of our Fred Smith building, where a state-of-the-art credit union will be housed on the ground floor, complete with the latest in technology.
We are aiming to get the Belize American Credit Union up and running by the end of this year if all goes according to schedule. This will be yet another major breakthrough for our member owners living in the diaspora, hence the reason for HRCU's involvement. The other matter of importance to all of us is that we have recently been able to secure our correspondent banking relationship.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
The annual Cancer Walk in Belize City took place over the weekend. Hundreds of persons threw on their sneakers and headed to the Marion Jones Sporting Complex. For a second consecutive year, the walk did not begin in Ladyville and instead saw participants make their way through the north and south sides of Belize City and return to the sporting complex. This year, it was a whopping 10 miles of road. Some walked, some rode, and others ran, all to create awareness on cancer. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
For a second year, the Belize Cancer Society's Cancer Walk in Belize City began and ended at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex. This time, however, the route was expanded to include the Philip Golson Highway, over the Chitamal Street Bridge, and then onto Farbers Road Extension before making its way onto Central American Boulevard, along Yarborough Road, Regent Street, Swing Bridge, Marine Parade, and then back to the Princess Margaret Drive.
Cancer is one of the leading causes of death in Belize now, and we have to show support for those people who are in the fight, like my mother, my wife, and other people that I know.
I have to come out because I lost my sister about 7 months ago, and I'm supporting that with everything, but we have to keep going on. But Bennett was one of the most lovely person in softball in this world, so I have to support. I have to do it halfway because, hey, going at 66 directly, so we have to make sure I got be planned. Be planned.
So you the walk or you the ride?
I the walk, I ride and dance on the street.
It's a grueling walk that is taken every single year to bring awareness to the deadly disease of cancer. Many of the participants for Cancer Walk 2023 either know someone who is battling cancer or has survived or even has lost the fight to this deadly disease.
It's something I always do. It's personal for me because of Carolina, a co-worker that had died from cancer, so I do this for her every year.
For you?
It's my first time actually participating in it, so I'm a bit pumped up, to be honest. I started, it was hard in the beginning, but now I feel pumped. Cancer is a very serious thing. It has taken a lot of lives, and I haven't had that experience, but I'm sure it isn't something that we can never forget. A lost one, a loved one that's been with you for so long, you can't forget them. So I'm taking the initiative to walk here on all the cancer survivors as well.
It was a 10-mile walk, and majority made it through to the end, including cancer survivor Kim Simplice Barrow. Simplice Barrow was accompanied by a friend and says that the turnout is encouraging, to say the least.
It is encouraging, it is powerful, it is wonderful to see so many people come out and do the walk. It is a reminder that we still have a long way to go in empowering our women to get their medical checks and, in getting the medical care that we so badly need here in Belize.
I'm here because my mom has breast cancer, so it's something that we need to bring awareness to, and I think that things like this really help to do that. This is in my capacity as Miss Belize. I'm not sashed this morning because obviously I had to sweat, right? But yeah, as Miss Belize, I want to help all the associations that I could help. I was at the Lupus Walk last weekend, so now I'm at Cancer Walk this weekend.
You'll make it all the way to the end?
I hope so.
Participating in the annual fundraiser helps to send a strong message to everyone.
I think everybody should come out, support all the walks that we have, buy the shirts, bring awareness to it, because the more we raise funds, the better we're able to help our Belizean people.
Stay strong, stay positive, get the care that you need, and know that so many of us have survived, and we just have to keep on fighting until the end.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
The Belize Coast Guard officially kicked off its Wonder Woman competition today at its base in Belize City. The three-day event will see women from across the Belize Coast Guard and the Belize Defense Force compete in fitness challenges, swimming competitions, long-distance runs, marches, and shooting drills. The Wonder Woman competition was first held in 2016. The event was placed on hold at the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. But this year, the competition is back. We stopped by the Belize Coast Guard's headquarters this morning to find out more about this year's event.
This was an effort to include women within the security forces, to build team morale, leadership, team building capacity, and all of that. The competition starts with very easy events. Like for instance, today we have the push-ups, sit-ups, which is the Coast Guard CGPFT, and it starts with a 2 miles run. Push-ups, 2 minutes push-ups, 2 minutes sit-ups, best effort for pull-ups. For this second day in the afternoon, we have the Coast Guard medley, which the Coast Guard medley, the women have to back a log, certain items, certain obstacles around the lap, and then complete the lap and then go up the line, which is that it is the last event for that actual event.
We basically had a month and a half of training, and throughout that training we've been running a lot. We've been running with weights. We have basically transitioned from doing a lot of cardio to basically doing all the events that we will be doing over these past 3 days. Every time we train, we would clock ourselves and try to do a better time than we would the day before, the week before. So we always try to beat our own scores and our own times.
You sweat and you go, no? Yeah. It's nice. Yeah. Nice sweat. Number one to be there, so no?
Yeah. How was it preparing? What did you guys do to prepare for this competition?
Every day I work out. Monday to Friday, sun hot, rain shine. We are the work you put in, you get out, no? Yeah. No matter about compete with each other, the work you put in, and you get out there. Yeah. So we perform just now.
It's good because most of the time the guys would say, oh, they can't do this because they're females. But doing this and holding these events, we basically prove to them that, hey, we can do it. After I finished with my push-ups, one of the guys was like, wow, I didn't know you have more push-ups than me, because I did 67, and he's like, my last amount was 60 push-ups. So it's basically to show them, hey, we can do it, and we can sometimes do it better.
Up next, the Belize Elite Basketball League is in playoffs mode, and Stan Creek claims U20 Men's Championship.
Did you know that there's a way to protect yourself from getting the hepatitis B virus?
If left untreated, hepatitis B can cause chronic liver infection and put people at a high risk of death.
Fortunately, a safe and effective vaccine for hepatitis B is available for everyone.
Hepatitis B is not only life-threatening, but highly infectious.
It is spread through contact with blood and other bodily fluids from an infected person.
Common modes of infection include mother-to-child transmission during birth, having sex without a condom, using unsterilized tattoo or piercing equipment, or even sharing razors, washcloths, or toothbrushes.
Remember, a tiny amount of blood, too small to see, is enough to infect you with hepatitis B.
There is no cure for hepatitis B, and symptoms often do not present themselves early, so many people might not know they are infected. The only way to know is to get tested.
So talk to your healthcare provider about getting tested and vaccinated to protect yourself and others from hepatitis B.
Everyone is potentially at risk of being infected, so don't wait to vaccinate.
Visit any healthcare facility countrywide to speak with a healthcare provider about getting tested and vaccinated for hepatitis B.
My Social Security. Your direct online access to all your Social Security information. 360 view of all your Social Security information. Registration services, benefits, contributions, and employer services at your fingertips. Enjoy all the new features with your My Social Security account. Register with SSB. Submission of benefit claims. Submission of contribution statements. View contribution record. Enjoy all your My Social Security feature at ssbportal.org.bz. Social Security at your fingertips.
Tour guides, your renewal season is coming up. Please be advised that all tour guide license expires on July 31st, 2023. BTB will start accepting applications for renewal starting May 1st, 2023. Tour guides, we're asking you to apply early in order to have a new and valid license before the current one expires. To submit via email, you'll need a clear scan of each document in PDF format and properly named and labeled. Send your application with all supporting documents to tourguide@BelizeTourismBoard.org and include your full name and your tour guide license number in the subject line of the email. Remember to fill out your applications correctly, as BTB will no longer be accepting incomplete applications. Contact our licensing officers at 227-2420 and press 1 if you have any questions or concerns.
Prime Minister John Briceño wants to pass special legislation in the House, giving tax benefits and fiscal incentives to David Gegg for his Port of Magical Belize cruise ship project. This is the same David Gegg who signed a secret agreement with UDP Minister Erwin Contreras 2 days before the last general election in November 2020, without the knowledge of then Prime Minister Dean Barrow or the cabinet.
That document was signed by Erwin Contreras in October of 2020, and in my view, that is a shame, it is abhorrent, and in my opinion, it is completely illegal.
The Cabinet Subcommittee on Investment knew nothing about that agreement.
I am not aware of any definitive agreement, which is usually the last stage of really cementing the investment opportunity in the country. You know, the government has to ensure that the investor has the right, has the capital available, that all the permissions have been granted, that sort of thing.
Despite former Attorney General Mike Parafit's exposure of the agreement as unlawful, the Prime Minister seems hell-bent on making it into the law.
We as a government, we're here to be able to govern and to ensure that whatever investment or whatever approvals that were made by the government of Belize can be carried out. If the definitive agreement, and I have not seen it, was signed by the minister responsible, then obviously it is going to be binding because it's the government of Belize that signed it.
He will legalize David Gegg's secret and unlawful agreement by passing a special law for his government's preferred developer. Why will this man be exempted from paying taxes based on an unlawful and secret agreement?
It's good to keep the environment clean. BSWAMA, step up the pace. They're going places to manage the waste. So make we stand and make well sure. No garbage left on the seashore. The whole of Belize we stay clean, cause we know say worth much more. We have pretty environment. So when you see the garbage on the ground, go after me and just bag it on.
Cleanliness has always been second nature to us. So let's work together to keep our surroundings beautiful and healthy.
No garbage in it.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Good night and welcome to another edition of Sports Monday. I am Paul Lopez. We are now in week 4 of the William Dawson Sprite Digi Youth Basketball Tournament 2023. This week's matchups took us to Hattieville, where a total of 7 games were played. We start with the first game of the day between the dynamic Crawl Road Boys and the skillful Rockville Hard Knocks. The starting whistle blows and it's Crawl Road Boys with the first possession. A 3-point attempt misses. The rebound goes to Rockville Hard Knocks. On the other end, Rockville's number 9 goes in strong for the drive, misses the easy layup. Ball is rebounded and tossed to the other end of the court for a quick and easy layup. On this play, number 9 creates the screen and the space inside. As his teammate is double teamed, he gets the pass on the inside for an easy bucket. Here again, Rockville's defense is fast asleep as the ball is tossed over to number 11, who catches his own rebound off the missed layup and banks the second attempt points. In the second quarter, the ball is in Crawl Road Boys' possession. Number 1 dribbles to the free throw line and shoots. It bounces off the rim. His teammate collects the rebound and makes it count. An easy steal here for Crawl Road, and they are able to capitalize on the play. In the third quarter, Crawl Road Boys continues to dominate the game, but here is a beautiful play under the rim by Rockville. In the fourth and final quarter, Rockville is showing fatigue as number 10 for Crawl Road goes to the rim and draws 3 defenders, leaving his teammate under the rim wide open for the bucket. That game ended 39 to 27 points in favor of Crawl Road Boys. They dominated the rebounds, had more second chance points, and less turnovers throughout the course of the match. The dominant 501 Falcons took on Cassava Utes in Game 2. The starting whistle is blown and the ball is quickly taken to the rim. Passed out, shot attempt, and a miss. 501 Falcons Raymond Gongora with the rebound. Here is number 11 for Cassava Utes with the ball at the 3-point line. He fires off, and that is money, folks. On the other end, Luani Caetano goes in for the drive. Gongora gets the pass and powers his way up to the rim for the basket. Here's another 3-point attempt from Cassava Boys. Bounces off the rim. The ball gets into the hand of number 2, Justin Bailey, on the fast break. He makes it look effortless. Starting off the second quarter, Bailey throws in the ball to Hemmans. It gets inside to Gongora, who is unstoppable under the rim. He makes the bucket and draws the foul. Here's a beautiful pass from Bailey to Gongora at the free throw line. Gongora with another 2 points on the scoreboard. 501 Falcons is up in the third quarter. Here Luani Caetano slips and takes a hard fall. The ball is turned over and a beautiful bucket is made on the other end. Bailey with the pass to Tench. Tench passes back to Bailey in the paint and he drives in through standing cones for the layup. On this play, Caetano passes from half court to Hemmans under the rim. Number 7 for Cassava Boys reads the pass and executes a solid block that would be heard around the village. But in the end, 501 Falcons flew above Cassava Boys to take the victory. And from basketball, we move into a bit of football action as the Anthony Maulers Under 13 Mundialito tournament continued on Saturday. Belize United took on Pickstock. It is the first of 3 periods. 3 minutes into the game, Pickstock kicks the ball from the left corner. It is deflected out to number 11, Jonathan Garay, who is all alone. He runs down the ball, faces off the goalkeeper, and puts it in for the first goal of the match. 6 minutes in, number 15 makes the pass to Garay on the left wing. He fires and the ball is deflected. Asir Ghanaier follows behind and launches at the goalkeeper, but that one is stopped. Less than a minute later, Pickstock throws in the ball. Garay is right there to intercept the ball. Pickstock regains control momentarily. Quick defensive thinking by Lozana sends the ball back to Garay. He pivots inside the penalty box. The goalkeeper loses his footing. Garay fires and it goes into the net. That game ended 2-0 in favor of Belize United. Belize's under-20 women's national volleyball team is returning home from Mexico after a tough loss at the Continental Championship and Pan American Cup. Team Belize played matches against Guatemala, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, Cuba, and Mexico. In all of these matches, Team Belize lost 3-0. At the end of the tournament, Team Belize placed 8th. Also, we would like to say huge congratulations to the Stan Creek Under-20 men's team for winning the Football Federation of Belize U20 Championship. The MVP award went to Leopoldo Vasquez. He scored 2 goals in the finals. The most goals award went to Dejon Daniels. Carlos Palacio received the Best Goalkeeper award. And finally, the Belize Elite Basketball League is in playoff season. On Saturday night, the Orange Walk Multipurpose Stadium came alive with the first match of the semifinals between Orange Walk Running Rebels and San Pedro Tiger Sharks. The San Pedro Tiger Sharks defeated Orange Walk Running Rebels to gain an advantage in the best of 3 series. This weekend, the Belize City Civic Center will come alive as the Venice Belize Hurricanes take on the Dangriga Dream Ballers in their first match of that series. Well, folks, that's all we have for you with tonight's coverage of Sports Monday. Until next time, have a good night.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, good night.